Hello, my viewers. Welcome back to the channel. My video title, what this video is about. We're doing an NFL game review for all the games of Week 1. And yeah, I think I did my game picks last time. I should have probably looked at the record of my game picks. I believe I got a few right. But next week I have it for you guys, my complete record, and see what we have at the end of the year. But it's some crazy games on Sunday. And we're about to get into a short little summary of each game. Starting off with the first game of the week, which was the Bills and the Rams. And that game right there, I was thinking it was going to be a shootout. I thought it was going to be a shootout type of game because, you got the Bills, the high-power offense with Josh Allen. You got Devin Singletary, who's a pretty good receiver. I mean, running back. He can dual threat type of guy. They use him in different ways. Dawson Knox. And then, of course, the big-time player, and Stephon Diggs, who had an amazing game. And then Gable Davis, who's been stepping up, who's been playing real well. He had that 200-plus yard game and 4 touchdowns in the playoffs. So you have all these implications coming in, and then Von Miller adding to the defense and stuff like that. And then so it was a pretty good game. They didn't have Tre'Davious White either. Tre'Davious White did not play because I believe he's still recovering from his ACL injury. And then the Rams offense, Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, who's a triple crown winner, and then you got guys like Tyler Higbee. And then Allen Robinson, who I thought gonna have a good game that game, but he only got, I believe, like 1 or 2 targets. And then Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson. I'm actually mad at the Cam Akers stand because I had Cam Akers on my fantasy team, and he only got 2 touches. Darrell Henderson took all the touches, and Cam Akers only had 2 touches. But the game right there, it didn't go like what I thought it was. I thought it was gonna be like maybe a 30-33. I had the Bills winning, but that game right there, the Bills just took over. Matthew Stafford did not play well. He was He was kind of overdoing it a little bit, like forcing the ball in there. Then like that no look pass trying to get to Cooper Kupp. He threw the ball too high and got picked off. And the Rams defense kept them in there though, because the score was 10-10 at halftime. But after a while the defense gets tired. The defense is bend don't break, but eventually if your offense keep going out, not putting the points up, just keep in 3 and outs, and I don't get anything else. And they didn't score. Again in the second half, they got shut out the second half, and the Bills just dominated. Josh Allen was just too dominant. And Josh Allen interceptions was most of the interceptions wasn't really his fault. Because he threw one that got knocked off the receiver, that's from the receiver. Another one, the receiver had position with the hands and then kind of got taken away too. So the interceptions, we don't really count those fully. But Josh Allen did make up for those turnover plays with the rushing touchdown he had, and then throwing absolute dart to Gable Davis. And then Stephon Diggs getting in there, beating Jalen Ramsey. The Rams just looked shook a little bit. That Super Bowl hangover was still waiting upon them. But hopefully they get it together the following week. The next game we got, I believe, was the Eagles and Lions. The Eagles was out there dominating. A.J. Brown debut going out there dominating and everything. He put up some big numbers. And the Lions, they like I said before in the past, the Lions is a team that they fight. They fight to the very end. They're going to keep fighting. And they came back in this game a little bit. They came back. The Eagles defense was playing well, but I think they kind of got too conservative, and they let they foot off the gas just a little bit, and the Lions got back in the game. The Lions start clawing back, no pun intended, and then they almost got the Eagles. They almost got them. In the end, the Eagles held off with the win and walked. That was the question. That was the big concern. Can the Eagles close out games? And can Jalen Hurts, will he be that quarterback? Is he the franchise quarterback? And I know it's just week 1. I know against the Lions. The Lions team is not as bad as people say they are, but week 1, that's a good statement for week 1. To show them okay, I'm the franchise guy. I'm the guy who can go out there. I have the weapons I need. The defense is better, and we're going to do this. We're going to go out there and win. So that was a good statement game. The 49ers and Bears was an upset for sure, because I thought the 49ers were going to win this game. I knew the game would be kind of close a little bit. I probably had it like a 21. I think I said 21-17 like that. But the Bears defense was playing well, and Justin Fields looked pretty well out there too. The O-line wasn't the best, but the O-line played. It had moments where they was playing pretty solid, playing well, and Justin Fields was able to deliver the ball in different situations. It was rainy out there too. It was rainy in puddles, and it was just like a little. It just a little like a weird one of weird wacky games a little bit. Cause I seen the pregame thing, they was running in the puddle. It was looked like astronauts out of space or something, and where they was moving. But Trey Lance, I said it before the season started, that I would have probably rolled with Jimmy G, because it's just Trey Lance's 3rd year. I believe he's only 22, 23 years old. So he set out. If he said, that's his 2nd year, right? This is 2nd year? Yeah, 2nd year. So if he set out this year and just play his 3rd year, that would have been cool. Because think Jimmy G, he got their team to the NFC Championship before, and then a couple years back he got to the Super Bowl. So I feel like Jimmy G would be a better choice to go with right now at the moment, a guy who has more experience. Because like Trey Lance looks like he kind of like, you can see talent there. It's just like the experience, like he lacking experience, and like some of the looks the defense gave him he wasn't familiar with, and like he just like his timing was off and everything. So like maybe they reevaluated. I don't know if they probably still rolling with Trey Lance for now. But Jimmy G did sign. They signed him back for a reason. So just in case he had to put him in and then like wait to Trey Lance produce into that primary role. But it also is good to have your quarterback, young quarterback out there playing in those games to like give him that experience of like facing adversity, the experience of all the defensive different looks and stuff, so he can get used to it and like use that talent and mold that talent into becoming a franchise quarterback. But that right there was definitely an upset for sure. And then we got the Bengals and Steelers. I talked about this before. This channel is we talk about NFL, NBA, but I'm mostly focused on my main team is the Steelers and the Miami Heat. So you already seen the Steelers recap. You go back and watch that video. That was a crazy game. Back and forth. We started off with all momentum. It was 17-6 at halftime, and then the Bengals came back. They tied the game up 2020. The PAT got blocked. We get the ball in overtime. We don't score. We have to punt it. They kick a field goal. They miss it. We kick a field goal. We miss it. And then I believe I think we got the ball back at the end, and then we was able to kick the field goal to win the game. In a wacky game, one of the craziest opener games. It kind of reminded me of that Browns game when we played the Browns a couple years back. I believe that was 2018 when we had the tie against the Browns. When they had Tyrod Taylor in. And that game right there was real. It was rainy too, and we missed all those field goals. And like the PAT, I think the field goal was blocked. I think their field goal was blocked, and we won the game like that and got a tie. I think that was like it reminded me of that game. But at least this time we actually won the game. It wasn't a tie. Moving on to the next game was the Patriots and the Dolphins. The Dolphins really just dominated this full game. Mac Jones really couldn't get anything going. They was on sitting pressure. They had pressure to him a lot, and like he was on trying to get the ball out there. The ball he threw in the end zone, we got picked off off the tip up. That ball wasn't that bad, but like it's double. It's kind of double covered a little bit because like a safety in that position, you got to throw that ball where either the receiver gonna get it, or like no one can get it. Because like you throw it, well, like the receiver you throw it inside and he have a chance. It's like if he don't catch it and it bobble up, that safety right there to clean it up, and that's exactly what happened. The safety cleaned it up, and then the offense on the Dolphins, they played well. Tua. Actually showing that he's more of a franchise quarterback. He played solid and well enough. He was, Tyreek Hill had a good game, so like that, and the offensive line looked better. And the Dolphins really just dominated this game. Like it just really dominated. They had full control over this whole game because the Patriots didn't score until like later in the game. I think at halftime was like 17-0, I believe so. So the Dolphins really just dominated this. Moving on to the next game, it was the Browns and Panthers. The Browns was dominating that game as well. And the Panthers kind of surged back in the second half. Baker Mayfield started lighting it up. R.B. Anderson caught a big touchdown and started just lighting it up and started getting out there and like spreading the offense out a little bit. And they came down to the wire, but the Browns won it with the game-winning field goal. And Jacoby Brissett, as I said before, he's a solid quarterback. He's a guy who can get it done. You put him out there. I think solid quarterbacks are always in the range of like you put him out there for 10 games. They can at least get you to 5-5. Like 5-5, you'll be a 500 record like that. I thought Jacoby Brissett with that offensive line that the Browns have in the running game, he could definitely muster up some wins against some teams, but not against us though, of course. Now moving on to the next, the Colts and the Texans, which was a tie, which was crazy. The Texans, I love Davis Mills. Like you heard me mention this before on the channel. Davis Mills, I feel like he has a lot of potential. He reminded me of Matt Ryan a little bit. As the way he passed the ball, his mechanics and stuff. He just looked like strong through the middle and like a quick release, like a strike when he throw it. And he just looked good out there. And the Colts, I had the Colts win this game because Matt Ryan, this is his debut, and the Colts defense is good, but Davis Mills was like lighting them up out there. And then it somehow got to overtime, and then the field goals and stuff. People missing field goals and crazy things happen like on Sundays, and the Texans and the Colts tied the game. So at least you didn't lose. Like you don't want to never leave with a tie sometimes, but it's better than a loss. A tie is better than a loss. And at least you know that the Texans are they out here competing. Because last year the Texans, they had some players like Brandon Cooks is a guy who's very underrated. He had 1,000 yards last year, but people don't really talk about it as much because he's played for the Texans. But Brandon Cooks is a good receiver. And then you got Davis Mills, who's a good quarterback. He had a solid year last year, and he's starting off this season real good. I feel like they have a chance because the AFC South is not really locked up. And like Tennessee not locked, they don't have it locked up. The Colts don't have it locked up, so it's really kind of open. It's open for a lot. Anybody can go in there. The Jaguars, the Texans, those guys can compete and maybe get them a playoff spot. I think they win the division. But that game right there was a crazy game. It was it started off one-sided. Most of the games like this start off one-sided, the team come back and either take the lead or team come back and tie it up and go to overtime or something crazy happened. But that was a crazy game right there. Moving on next, we had the Saints and the Falcons. That game right there was also another one. The Falcons was dominating the Saints. Most of the game, James Winston turned it on third quarter. He started launching it, got Jarvis Landry involved, Michael Thomas involved, and turned it on. And that was the James Winston we was waiting to see like that. Like, not turning the ball over, but being poised, being patient, taking your check downs, making your reads and like that. And James Winston, ever since last year, ever since the eye surgery, maybe the eye surgery did help. Ever since the eye surgery, he's been different. James Winston, he's been playing like the guy we thought he was going to play when he got drafted by the Buccaneers. And James Winston has been playing pretty well like that. And because last year, I think the Saints started off, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was 5-2, or either 6-2 or 5-2. It probably was 5-2, and then before he had the ACL injury. But with this roster they got now, with Chris Olave, the speedster, and you got Michael Thomas, and you got Jarvis Landry, and they got a nice offense and nice weapons for them to spread the ball out and get things open down the field. And the Saints defense is very good. It kept them in the game, and because the Falcons was dominating, but they didn't dominate enough for them to blow them out of the water, because the Saints defense kept them in. Like that, Marcus Mariota is a good leader. This actually, the Falcons lost by 1 point. It's still kind of a good game for them because people was writing them off saying they was gonna get blown out by a lot of teams and stuff. But Marcus Mariota is a quarterback. We see him get it done in different ways. As long as you keep the offense his style, and that's what the Falcons is kind of doing, keeping that style of offense with him using the RPOs and him using the play action passes and using his legs, scored a touchdown with his legs. Like that, just doing that. And Cordell Patterson, getting them guys involved and using them. And Drake London, another guy who's going crazy. I wish Kevin Ridley was suspended. I feel like it should have just been maybe either 1 game suspension or just a fine, because him and Drake London would have been a crazy duo. But maybe next year when he gets back out there, that'd be a very crazy duo. But hopefully next week the Falcons can get a win. The Ravens and Jets. The Ravens just dominated that game. Lamar Jackson was like, hey, I'm the franchise quarterback. I'm gonna go out there and show you guys that I should get this 250. I don't know if I'm only trying to get 250 million guarantee. I don't know what the asking price is, but I know it gotta be more than Deshaun Watson, because Deshaun Watson never won MVP and he never was All Pro. And Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson played in 2 years and they paid him that. I know that they did different franchises and different teams, but you're looking at the market right there, set right there. So I think he probably asked for that big money and all that money guaranteed. And Lamar Jackson went out there and he was delivering. He was striking, delivering against the Jets and going crazy. The Jets, they had a little something going. I like Sauce Gardner and stuff like that, but the Ravens offense is just too high powered. Their run game and even the aerial attack. Cause Rashad Bateman, who I didn't start my fantasy team, he had a big touchdown. He's a big receiver. He's a guy. This is his second year. I feel like he's gonna have a good year too, being probably the number 1 option on their team. Well, the number 1 receiver option, because Mark Andrews is the number 1 option probably at that. But he's gonna have a big year. And Lamar Jackson was connecting with him on the first game, and the chemistry looked very well there. Moving on to the next game was the Jaguars and the Commanders. That game right there was crazy too, because Carson Wentz, he was playing well, but he almost did what he did in the past. Almost gave it up. But in the end, they won. And Jahan Dawson, the guy I talked about on the channel before, is an absolute beast out there. He reminded me of the Deontay Johnson, a Hunter Renfrow type receiver who's very scrappy, who's very gritty, who's a nice route runner, who's quick and shifty, and he was delivering. He was getting a lot of plays. Of course, Scary Terry out there too, making things happen as well. But Carson Wentz gotta stop forcing those passes, on that screen, on that pass to the running back. That screen, he had to throw that. When he threw it to the running back and number 44 picked it off. He had to throw that right there, because he should have threw it away, or threw it to the ground, threw it to his feet or something, but he tried to force it in there. And it seems like lately, past couple of years, when Carson Wentz get pressured, he'll just try to just get it off because he don't want to take the hit or something. But he had to start just either sometimes taking the sack is a good idea sometimes in certain situations, or just trying to get out and throw it out or something, throw it away. But in your mind, sometimes you think you can make the play, and sometimes it might turn out bad. But he threw those 2 picks that almost cost him a little bit. But luckily, the Commanders was able to still maintain and win the game. The Jaguars looked better. Christian Kirk had a big catch, big play like that. But the offensive line kind of collapsed at the end of the game because Trevor Lawrence he didn't have enough time to deliver the ball out there, and it kind of caused a lot of like disruption like that within the offense because he was waiting. They were trying to take them deep shots because the deep shots was open. They had opportunities down the field. It was open, and like Trevor Lawrence was delivering here and there, but when the pockets start collapsing, you got enough time. It's kind of tough. But hopefully they can recover for next week. Then the next game was the Packers and the Vikings. Packers, they got absolutely dominating this game. Justin Jefferson is an absolute beast. This is like third season, and he already have 3,000 something plus yards on the 2 years. He about to be on the verge of he gonna have some crazy stats. If he keep this up and he stay healthy, knock on wood, stay healthy and stuff, he gonna be one of the best receivers ever because he's definitely top. He's definitely top. He might be top 3 receiver actually. Probably is top 3. He's one of the best in the league. Devontae Adams, of course, Tyreek. I like Tyreek Hill, but Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, some of those guys, and DJ Hopkins, he's injured right now, but some of the guys are some of the top receivers in the league. And that man right there was just unguardable. Because the Vikings' offense was never the problem. Because Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, and Justin Jefferson, they made things happen. Alexander Madison and all those guys. It's just the defense couldn't stop anything. But the defense shut down the Packers. Shut down the Packers yesterday. Aaron Rodgers was not yesterday, 2 days ago. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was seeing ghosts out there, and it was just bad. Like they couldn't get anything going. His receivers had to drop like that, but he stopped going to him. Like you still gotta go to him. You still gotta go to him and like let you know like let them know like it's just one play. Just wipe out your memory because like you not going to them gonna make them still linger with that drop. Like dang, he not throwing the ball to me because I dropped the ball. So you gotta keep going to him, keep going to those guys like that. And like Devontae Adams away from the Packers did look different. Packers look different. Offense looked a little slower pace. Like that, Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball just to the running backs. It looked like A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones was getting all the passes and stuff. But the Packers probably need to establish the run a little more. Because last year, their first game of the season against the Saints, remember, they got jacked up. But then after that, they came back and they was the first number 1 seed. Like that, after they revamped stuff and like got better. So I think they probably need to establish the run, get the run going with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, and maybe they can probably get back on track. But good win by the Vikings. Let the AFC, not the AFC North, the NFC North know that they're still here too. The Giants, that was right there was a crazy win. They needed that win because Brian Daboll was coming there to change the culture to put a standard there, let them know like we're gonna win. But like you can say a lot of things, a lot of great things, but you gotta go out there and still win and let your team know that you're playing to win. And him going for it and like Saquon Barkley was the hero of that game, just going crazy with the big runs and fighting for the extra yards. And then Sterling Shepard showing up as well. But the big play was really the two conversions. They gave his team trust. Even if they didn't get it, they still gave his team trust that he trusted them to win the game. And them getting it was even better. He trusted them to win the game, went for 2, and he said basically saying you trust the defense. If we don't get it, and even if we do get it, we trust the defense because we score fast, kind of, and then we trust the offense. I think you gave a lot of trust to the guys, and they put up the win, and it was a very good win for the Giants. The Giants need that. The Titans. Robert Woods, he only had one catch for 12 yards. I feel like they should get Robert Woods involved a little more. I know Tannehill threw both of his touchdowns to the running back, the backup running back. And Derrick Henry had 82 yards. They kind of the offense looked a little different because AJ Brown. People didn't think AJ Brown's importance was high, I guess. But AJ Brown's a very important receiver, and you see what he did last year with he get double team. He just mossing people and going crazy. So now Robert Woods is a good receiver too, but now teams are not playing you like that. They're like, oh, we can do this because we're gonna see them. We're gonna see if they can actually beat us first before we try to do that. So now they can load the box and they can try to play Henry because last year they couldn't do that because they had to worry about AJ Brown on the outside. So maybe they need to start establishing and getting those receivers on the outside involved a little more. So maybe they can probably open some things up. The Chargers and Raiders game was a crazy game. Because the Chargers was up most of the game, and then the Raiders started surging back. One of those games start surging. That's how most of the games was on Sunday. The Chargers was up, and then they started surging back in. And Derek Carr, them turnovers kind of hurt the game in the end because they look like if those turnovers he only had one, maybe interception, maybe it would have been a different outcome like that. But Devontae Adams went crazy. He went crazy. Derek Carr was finding him. Devontae Adams was that move he did on Sante Samuel where he hit the little double. And then hit the out route and caught it, and then came back and mixed it up again and hit a spin move and got out. Man, Devontae Adams is a beast out there. But Yeah, they got limited turnovers. The turnovers got to be limited. Derek Carr is a good quarterback. I have him top 10 in the league. He's not Aaron Rodgers, of course, but he is top 10 in the league. He's a good quarterback. He just got to make sure he be more patient. Don't try to force feed the ball. Don't have tunnel vision out there like that on some plays. You still got Hunter Renfrow on the other side. You got, of course, you got Adams, and you got Darren Waller who got involved too as well, like that. Take your checkdowns and get poised and get comfortable in the thing. But Josh McDaniels, I feel like his play calling gonna be pretty good because like the Patriots, he had good play calling. He had different styles of QBs, and of course he had Brady for a long time, but he also had the likes of Drew Garoppolo for a little bit. He had Mac Jones. He had Jacoby Brissett when he was there for a little bit. So like he kind of like have a different semblance of like different styles of quarterbacks. So he'll probably find a way to implement that into the scheme, like, and get Derek Carr back on track. The next game was the Chiefs and Cardinals. Can't really say too much. Mahomes is still the best player in the league. Well, it depends on if you like Aaron Donald. Like I think some of the best players in the league probably Aaron Donald, Mahomes, T.J. Watt, and stuff like that. But Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league for sure. Go out there 30 for 39, 5 touchdowns. And the Cardinals team not a bad team like that. Their defense did take a hit, losing Chandler Jones and stuff like that, but not a bad team. Mahomes just made them look like a JV team. He just went out there and just like easy peasy. I'm not turning TV on. I was like, damn, they scored already? They scored right there. And I went back. I was flipping through the channel of the Packers and Vikings game and the Chiefs game. I was like, damn, they scored again? And they were just cooking them. It was just too easy for them. And Juju was getting involved. Mecole Hardman. Yeah, everybody was getting involved. Travis Kelce and all of them, they all was just getting involved. Like the ball was spread all the way around like that. And that's actually good. The Chiefs, they don't have a dominant number one receiver, but they have a lot of good receivers. MVS, Juju, those guys right there, Mecole Hardman. Those guys right there gonna make plays and make it and get it done. The Cowboys and the Bucks game was really it's kind of boring game a little bit. Not gonna lie to you. The Cowboys only got 3 points. Prescott went out with an injury, hurt his thumb. I think they say he out for 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know if he broke his thumb or something, a ligament torn in his thumb. I don't know if it's like the same injury that Wilson had last year, like Russell Wilson had last year, but he's gonna be out for a little while. And the Bucks really just dominated this game like that. Like the Cowboys offense didn't look good. Amari Cooper is gone. Michael Gallup is not there yet. I don't believe so. I don't know if Michael Gallup played. I don't think he played. I was watching the game. I was watching it because I had Chris Godwin on my fantasy team who caught 3 for 35, but he went out with the injury, the hamstring injury, and never came back. But the Cowboys offense did not look good at all. It just looked too slow, and they couldn't get anything going. And yeah, they got dominated. The Bucks out there, Tom Brady and the Bucks didn't look the best either, but it was enough for them to win by a good margin. I said 19-3, and Tom Brady's like 7-0 against the Cowboys. But that crazy catch that Mike Evans caught on the side with the one hand on Trayvon Diggs, that was crazy. Like that. I don't know what the Cowboys got to do because they're gonna have Cooper Rush for the next 6 to 8 weeks. I say you should maybe like look to see if you trade for somebody. If I don't know Rod Taylor's on the Giants, I want the Giants looking to trade him, but he'd be a good guy. Chase Daniels Chase Daniels. Who else be a good guy? Trying to see. Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe. I don't know. Maybe see somebody to trade for like the 6 to 8 weeks. Cam Newton is still a free agent, so I don't know. You might need to trade for somebody or add somebody to the team, but it didn't look good. Oh, I don't suggest it, but it did not look good though. It did not look good at all for the Cowboys. I don't know. I don't know if Cooper Rush gonna be good enough for them. I know Jerry Jones was saying that in the media, but I don't think Cooper Rush will be good enough for them to actually win games. I don't know because their schedules are not easy either. They have some tough games, the division games, so it's gonna be. I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. But the last game of the week was the Broncos and Seahawks. The Broncos and Seahawks game was pretty emotional game for Russell Wilson because his first game of the year, he got to go to Seattle. Seattle, the 12th man, one of the loudest stadiums out there, and you hear all the fans screaming. They booed him. I thought they were on cheer him actually. They booed him when he came out like that, and he was He didn't really give me a reaction like that, and he was delivering to Jerry Jeudy here and there. But I feel like they left some plays out there on the field. Them goal line fumbles messed them up. Them goal line fumbles messed them up badly. And it just I don't know how that happened. It kind of funny a little bit because then you see like the Russell Wilson. Remember like in the past with the Super Bowl, we had Super Bowl 40. Super Bowl 48? 49, right? Well, the Seahawks and the Patriots. And remember, at the goal line, they threw the ball. But he was like, okay, we ran the ball twice at goal line and 2 fumbles. Like that. I don't know what's going on with the running backs. The fumble at the goal line, but that was just crazy. Maybe they should have mixed it up and had Russell Wilson running in or something. I don't know. But that play call at the end of them kicking that 64-yard field goal. Now I guess you had Justin Tucker, of course. I had Justin Tucker, of course, like that. Maybe he had Matt Prater or something who you see make those 60+ those big 60-yard field goals. But McManus, he had a strong leg. He had the power. It got there, but the accuracy was off. I would have probably went for it. Russell Wilson, you guys traded a lot for him, and you extended his contract to what, 250 mil, 260 mil. I think like 250 million, like $1 million. Like he got paid a lot of money. So I'm gonna put him out there, put that $250 million quarterback out there with the offense with Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. The reason I brought him over here because like I got Russell Wilson on my team for these situations because I know that he won a Super Bowl before. I know he's an 8 or 9 was a 9-time Pro Bowler. So I know he can make things happen in these situations. So I'm gonna put him out there and I want him to go out there and deliver. And they didn't do that. They kicked the field goal. They wasted a lot of time on the clock. I would have just called a timeout right after, and then I was got the best play I can get. The best play I can get. If Russell Wilson didn't get it, then so be it. I went with Russell Wilson. I went with one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But if he did get it, then you could have had a chance to maybe get a little closer, and maybe the field goal would have been 55 yards or something. But I didn't like that play call at the end like that. But the Seahawks got the victory. Smith looked good out there, getting the victory, and he was out there just delivering. He was striking. He was reading the Broncos defense like a book. It was just too easy for him. But yeah, that's really all the games. That is all the games. Yep, that's all the games. That was yesterday, Monday Night Football. The Seahawks.